Every few years, Bass Pro Shops lets us revamp the Walleye Angler Signature Series rods. And one of the rods that we looked at redoing this year was a trolling rod. What we wanted is a little bit longer rod, like a 9.5 foot rod is what we came out with. Now let me talk about trolling rods in general. What you typically want for a trolling rod is a rod with good backbone in it. A lot of times we're pulling heavy things walleye fishing, maybe boards out there or lead core, heavy pulling crankbaits. So you need some backbone in the rod so that it doesn't just double over with the equipment that's out at the end out there. But the other thing that you do need is a nice flexible tip. And that flexible tip is what's going to be important when you're reeling that fish in a long way. Many times we're putting out 150, 200 feet of line, and when you're doing that, you're reeling that fish in a long way. When he starts to pound every once in a while, you need that rod tip to take up that shock and not rip the hook right out of his mouth. But the other thing that I like is to get a little bit longer rod. And so this 9.5 foot rod has really been a good rod for us this year. A couple things that the little extra length is going to do for you is, first of all, when you're board fishing, you're going to be able to spread your tips out a little bit better and actually stop the lines from getting on top of each other and tangling. The other thing that's real important with a long rod is you can get that rod tip way up in the air, and what that does is lets that line go straight out to the board. It's not drooping down and sagging into the water. So the new Walleye Angler 9.5 foot trolling rod is a great addition to the line. It's got all the new materials in it, and I think it's going to help you catch a lot of walleyes.